Bill Maher and his panel spoke about the Bernie wing versus the Hillary wing and purity tests last week on his show. So here he is talking to Fran Lebowitz, that's her name, and Salman Rushdie's also on the panel. He's going to weigh in here as well. And look at what they say. Watch, and then we'll discuss.
What do you think the Democrats should do to repair this, or should they repair it?
Do you mean to repair the rift between?
Yes.
I think we should stop thinking about Bernie Sanders. I would really love to stop thinking about him. I mean, I know you found him kind of benign. I did not find him benign. I found him to be an unbelievably irritating, narcissistic old man. And I also kept thinking, like, who leaves New York when they're 18? I mean, that's who you have there. Like, when you look around and think, no, I can't make it. I'm going to Vermont.
I think we should please forget about Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. This is a battle that's over. It's over.
I agree.
And I also think there's this problem of the rift in the left, where there's a section of the left that wants the purest, more snowy than driven snow candidate.
Yes.
Snowflakier than the snowflakiest snowflake.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they want. And that's not only a problem in this country. It's a problem in England, where they want Jeremy Corbyn, who represents that ideal of leftiness, which can't possibly be elected. Or in France, the Mélenchon people who don't want to vote for Macron because he's not purely left enough. And what all this does is to drive a wedge through which the right can come. And there's something you said on this show a few months ago that I have to tell you, I have been quoting, Bill.
Wow.
Yeah. You said that we have to learn to distinguish between an imperfect friend and a deadly enemy.
Yes. And I don't think we have...
I'm going nuclear on these guys, because this point has been made over and over since the election, and it is the exact wrong conclusion. The so-called purist of the pure, snowflakiest of the snowflake left-wing candidates are the ones that fucking win. They are the ones that win. You want to know why? Because they actually have things that they believe in. They're not shapeshifters. They're not chameleons. They're not flip-floppers. Bernie Sanders has been saying the same goddamn thing since the 1970s. And guess what? The polls show the American people are overwhelmingly on his side. 60% of people want Medicare for all. 58% of people want free college. 80% of people want a living wage. Only 17% of people still want to be in Afghanistan. They want to end these unnecessary wars. 60% of people want to legalize marijuana. You go down the list of the left-wing ideas, the purity of the purest, snowflakiest of the snowflakiest ideas, that's the American people. That's what they want. And a candidate comes along and says, I agree with the American people, and idiots like Salman Rushdie and Bill Maher and Fran Lebowitz sit there and go, please, no, that's the last thing we should do is give people what they want. We have to get away from this idea that somehow a purity test or a litmus test is a bad thing. It's like saying, ooh, you actually believe in something? How dare you believe in something? How dare you have actual policy ideas that you want to stick to? You know what, guys? Some things aren't fucking debatable. If somebody came out and said, segregation, you know what, segregation, that's debatable. Why you have to be so pure and end segregation? You really just want to end it? Well, what if we don't think we can end it because it's in the South, it's been there for a while, what are we going to do here? Women voting? I think that one's not debatable. Oh, how dare you with your fucking purity test? Guess what? Medicare for all is one of those things that is in the non-debatable category. If every other industrialized nation has one form of single payer or another, they cover everybody, and it costs less, then why the fuck are we still debating, and why are people who are supposed to be on the left arguing in favor of the right-wing position? It is beyond frustrating. It is infuriating that people who think they're progressive are so easily duped into giving up everything they're supposed to believe in. And this idea that, what's just an imperfect friend? Yeah, that's what Hillary is, a fucking imperfect friend. Somebody who voted for the Patriot Act, who got rid of our constitutional rights. There's no more protection from unreasonable search and seizure. There's no more due process. The government can hold people extrajudicially. If they declare you a terrorist, you have no fucking recourse. She votes for the Patriot Act. She votes for the Iraq War. She's for intervention in Libya and orchestrates it. She was pushing for it in fucking Syria. She was for deregulating Wall Street. She was for outsourcing jobs. If you say that's an imperfect friend, what the fuck is an enemy? I'm supposed to give her credit because she doesn't absolutely despise black people and gay people? Wow, how fucking bold and progressive you are. You don't want to spit in the eyes of minorities. Wow, you're so bold. That's not an imperfect friend. That's a fucking enemy. That's what that is. And the fact that you're unwilling to stand up for what you're supposed to believe in is the fucking problem. People always talk about unity, 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 and then they make the next point, which is what Bill Maher and Fran Lebowitz and Salman Rushdie just did right there. Unity, 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 but give up everything you believe in. No, how about we unify behind the things that we're supposed to believe in, which are immensely popular. And no, the narcissistic one is not Bernie Sanders, who's literally getting people on board for Medicare for All as we speak. He's gotten Democratic senators to agree with Medicare for All to cover everybody for less money and get better outcomes. As Bernie Sanders is pushing policy substance and flipping the Democratic Party and making them better, these guys are calling him a narcissistic old man as Hillary Clinton goes on a book tour where she's blaming everybody but herself for the loss in the election. Remind me who's narcissistic again? She's narcissistic. She's self-absorbed, which is why she can't shut the fuck up about herself while Bernie's talking about everybody else and making life better for them. I've had enough. I've had enough of corporate Democrats. I've had enough of people standing in the way, blocking the things that we need in this country. We're not taking no for an answer. You're damn fucking right we have a litmus test and a purity test, and that's why we're gonna win. Because we actually believe in something and we're gonna fight for it. You can get the fuck out of the way.